Peace and blessings, family. This is Pearl from Pearl's World. The format of this program will be based on discussion of, well, whatever I feel like talking about. I like talking about current events. I think it comes from my education as a child. We always had to do current event reports. I'm a baby boomer, so that means that we had to learn how to read and write and think and things like that. Not to take anything away from anyone else. All right, today's topic is immigration. Foremost and firstly, what everybody should understand if they're thinking is that it's nothing personal about this. This is just the way America works. Issues of immigration and where people should live or not live is an ongoing theme, ongoing tradition in American society and history. Starting with the indigenous people. I don't know, I don't like to necessarily call them Native Americans, but I guess you could call them that too. Their story, what happened, they were pushed out, killed, sent other places. A lot of them were enslaved as well. A lot of people don't know that. They didn't just die off. They were sent somewhere. Like, for example, if you look at the early part during the colonial period, between the years of 1670 to 1715, English and Scottish immigrants, mind you, sent enslaved Native Americans to places like the West Indies. Up to the point of 50,000 is the estimation made by Dr. Craig Stephen Wilder in his book, Ebony and Ivory, Race, Slavery, and the Troubled History of America's Universities. So see, this idea that some people should stay and some people should go is very much a part of American culture, tradition, society, format, whichever word you want to use. Now, you also had during that time period, as well as, later on, you see examples where other groups, prior to today's Mexicans and Muslims, were pushed out or told you can't live here, you can't live there. You're a threat to democracy. You're a threat to what's good about America. Ongoing themes. If we look at the 1800s, all right, you had some blacks that managed to work their way out of slavery and become free. But in reality, they weren't free. They were very much restricted as to where they can live, what they can own, what they can do. It was curfews. They had to be in at night at a certain time, etc., etc., etc. And then on top of it, this was a real startling fact that I never knew, but I found out. I don't know how many of you ever heard of the American Colonization Society, all right, or the Back to Africa movement. I really thought that maybe this had something to do with black folk. Wrong. The American Colonization Society, which was founded in 1807, was founded by rich white men, many of them slave owners, slave traders, who decided to establish a colony in Liberia for free blacks to go to, because their presence as free blacks or free human beings was, again, a threat to democracy, a threat to what's great about America. So that happened as well. Moving along in history, you have the Civil War, bloody, bloody affair. More people died in the Civil War than any other war America has fought. When you based it on statistics as the current population then compared to who died then. In any event, you had a famine after the Civil War because crops were destroyed, infrastructure was destroyed. If there was food grown, it couldn't get to people who needed. So what did America do? The government do? Oh, they said, let the Chinese come in and build the railroads. All righty, so the Chinese came in, built the railroads. Once things got cooking again and people were able to get food and travel all over the place, in 1882, here you have now the Chinese Exclusion Act was passed by Congress and signed by President Chester Arthur, and again put into law. This act was an absolute 10-year moratorium on Chinese labor immigration. Sound familiar? This is the first time that a federal law prescribed entry based on a person being a member of an ethnic group. At the same time period, other immigrants were coming in. They just happened to be white instead of non-white. So that's the other thing. This country was supposed to be a white Christian nation. You used, get out. Slave, get out. Indian, get out. Chinese, get out. Today, Mexican, get out. Muslim, who are basically Arab people, get out. After they use you and abuse you, get out. That, my dear ladies and gentlemen, is the history of America. So this is your takeaway. This whole issue of immigration, migration, don't live here, don't live there, this is the tradition of American society, legal history, social history, cultural history, traditional history. Signing out.